tell me about Lynn Lake. It used to be big in the mining, right?
It was like the Klondike back in the 70s. It was a real booming, hustle and bustle kind of place.
I've got fish here too. There's nothing wrong with that. That's what, just a sample of some of the great fishing opportunities up here at Lynn Lake, Manitoba.
Coming up. Bob is in northern Manitoba in a small town called Lynn Lake. Once an active mining town, today Lynn Lake is home to just over 800 people and is one of Canada's best unknown fishing hotspots. Bob will be fishing with the mayor himself, Adi Delowich, in some of the many lakes and rivers that are full of walleye and massive pike. If you've been looking for a place to go where catching walleye is as easy as waking up, then hang on, as Real Fishing takes you on an adventure to Lynn Lake, Manitoba.
Here comes, whoa!
Oh, where are you?
Oh, man! Oh, yeah.
You gotta love it.
Where are you on?
All right. Oh, man!
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right, oh, man. Way to size that one. Oh, there you got it. Yeah. That is so cool. There you go. All right. That is a monster.
The Real Fishing Show with Bob Izumi.
That's what we're talking about. Woo-wee. That was pretty cool. Nice one.
Oh, I got one!
Look at this baby. Yeah. All right. There it is. Oh, yeah. Good one. Whoa. Here he comes. Yeah. Wow. Look at that. This is what open fishing is all about, right? 16 pounds. Look at there.
Real Fishing is sponsored by Chevy Trucks, Ontario More to Discover, and Tim Hortons.
Hey folks, that's what I call real fishing. My Lynn Lake adventure started in Winnipeg, Manitoba, with Wayne and my son Darren, where we met up with U.S. walleye pro Ted Takasaki to board Calm Air, who was flying us up to Thompson, Manitoba. Before we knew it, we were up in the air and settling in for a 2-hour flight. But lucky for us, Calm Air supplied a few snacks and a lunch during the flight. Oh, thank you. By the time the flight attendant managed to wrestle the food away from me, we were landed in Thompson. Then we boarded a Lynn Lake charter plane that was going to take us the rest of the way. The flight was just about an hour long, and when we arrived, there was a welcoming party at the airport ready to greet us, including the mayor himself, Adi Delowich. As some of us headed to our cabins to get unpacked, the rest headed to the Tourist Information Building to talk with the Community Economic Development Officer and the man behind arranging this trip, Mark Matisak, about Lynn Lake.
Lynn Lake, it's a rural, remote community, about 3.5 hours from Thompson, Manitoba, about approximately 12 hours from Winnipeg, the capital of Manitoba. We're up here literally at the end of the road, surrounded by some pristine nature, tremendous number of lakes and rivers, sporting a variety of quality fishing, ranging from walleye to northern pike, lake trout, and waters are cold and clear, ranging from a large body of water to small little potholes and teeming with pickerel.
All right. Nice walleye. During this time of year, Lynn Lake is mostly in daylight. So wanting to take advantage of some late night fishing while the sun was still up, we jumped into our boats and headed out. The mayor came along with me, as well as Stephen, who works at the town office, as we ran to some of Adi's favorite spots on the lake. Nice stick. Hey, Darren had that a second ago. There's a fish. What, do you gotta wear a plaid jacket to catch fish around here? Have a Kenora dinner jacket. What have we got here? I don't have any bait on.
Well, for the pike here, you don't need bait.
No.
Well, I think you got a pickerel, though.
What have we got? Mr. Walleye, huh? All right, with no minnow on there.
Oh, there you go.
Got that max gap jig. All right.
It's a nice one.
That is a nice one. All right. The target species. The target species. There we go. All right, now are we eating fish on the next day or so, or is this one going back?
It's entirely up to you. If you'd like to keep some to eat.
This is a big decision. I think it's going to go back. Because I like to eat. If we only get a few, I hate to eat in front of people. This feels like Mr. Walleye.
Up next on Real Fishing.
It is a pike. Was a pike.
Oh, snipped her.
That's what happens when you don't use a leader, but I'd rather not if I'm going for walleyes.
Closed captioning is brought to you by FNCC and MotorExam.com.
Lynn Lake, it was originally built in the early 50s. It was built to serve a mine, a nickel deposit that was discovered. But over time, it's evolved to accept the pristine nature surrounding the community. We have some beautiful natural resources around us and would like to attract more persons to come to the community to enjoy these wonderful settings. We have great hunting and fishing. And we feel that once they come here, they'll keep wanting to come back year after year to enjoy the natural surroundings around here. It's just spectacular.
See if we can find them here. Hopefully they're here tonight.
Well, that is one monster beaver house.
It's a fairly new one too. It's from
It's
last
like a
year.
condominium instead of that is one busy beaver or a family of them.
Yeah,
I didn't realize they put so much dirt in them too.
quite a bit. It's amazing how quickly they'll pop one of those up too.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we'll go over to the other river coming in and see if that's a little better. Let us pull up here and let ourselves drift back down to the river. Generally when they're in here, the action's pretty fast and furious.
Huh. This feels like Mr. Walleye. That thumped that jig too pretty good. And if it's a pike, it's acting like a walleye.
Oh, it might be.
Let's see here.
Oh, it's
It is a pike. It is a pike. It hit just like, whoa! It hit just like that other fish, too. Just thumped it, and that's why I thought, boy, another aggressive walleye.
Yeah.
Throw it back up there again. Pike. Who's making all the racket behind me anyway? That one just nailed him. Oh, I just had a bite off. I'm definitely going through some of those max dead jigs tonight. Price was right on him though. Sold over 10 stack of bucks. What do we got this time? What have we got this time? Stand. Oh, pike. Was a pike.
Oh, snipped her.
That's what happens when you don't use a leader, but I'd rather not if I'm going for walleye, so.
Well, I prefer not using the leader too. Yeah, this
In
thing.
the big scheme of things, jigs are the cheapest part of the day.
Yeah.
let's take a look down under with this week's Fish Eye View, sponsored by Mercury, #1 on the water. Anyone who spends time on the water knows the importance of presenting a lure or bait at the proper depth. Filming underwater, we noticed that fish can be very specific on this point. We've also learned this changeable preference can range from top to bottom or anywhere in between. Much of this is related to recent forage location and feeding behavior. A good way to reach this level is with crankbaits. Better yet, suspending models run and sit at specific depths, offering an easy target. Regardless of where they're found, one thing we observed is that any fish hesitant about striking at eye level or below will spring to life when the same lure is presented overhead. This response is built-in reflex action that all predatory fish are born with. Few can resist an easy target in ambush position. To find and stay in the strike zone, try back trolling. With your motor in reverse, you'll enjoy increased boat control at slow speeds while staying above the weeds and in plain view of fish. It's one of the hottest methods for walleye, and you can use pretty well anything from jigs to plugs and live bait. We like to call it controlled depth fishing, a term borrowed from downrigging. Remember, if you're casting or trolling and unsure of what depth to fish, the odds are in your favor if you keep it above their heads.
Oh, yeah.
Coming up next.
Brought me to the honey hole there, Mayor.
Oh, this is just one of many of them.
You guys get spoiled though, don't you? There's just so many fishing opportunities. It's just, I guess the biggest thing is what lake are you going to fish, right?
That's about it.
Hey, what a beautiful morning. Here it is late May. We're up in Lynn Lake, Manitoba, and I have the mayor with me, Audie Delowitz. Hey, thanks for bringing us out here. What a great place. There's so many lakes to fish up here, and as mayor, you're a hunter, a fisherman. You gotta love that. How many years have you been mayor?
15 years now.
15, okay. So you lived up here all your life?
Sure have.
Yeah, and a little spoiled, I guess, huh? All this fishing opportunities. I mean, there's dozens of lakes, and we're at one of them this morning. What are we going to do this morning?
We're going to go do some walleye fishing. It's one of my favorite fish to catch, and hopefully we'll do pretty well this morning.
Wow, it's a beautiful morning. I think we can't go wrong, even if we don't catch a fish. But I think we'll see some. What do you think?
Oh, I think we'll see plenty.
All right, let's get out there then.
Let's do it. Here we go. There he is.
You got him?
We got him.
All right, Mr. Walleye. Good one. Good one. Nice eater.
Good eating size.
So tell me about Lynn Lake anyway. Now, it used to be big into mining, right? In the early years?
Mining was the reason Lynn Lake was originally built, yes.
And how many people in the peak then lived in the town?
Back in the 70s, the town peaked out at about 5,000 people.
5,000, okay. And now there's about 800?
We're around the 800 mark, yes.
Wow, it was quite the heyday then. Now, did you live up in Lynn Lake then?
I did. It was like the Klondike back in the 70s. It was a real hustle and bustle kind of place.
I've got fish here too. I think we found them. What do you think?
I would think we may be into them here.
All right, yeah, another walleye.
Yeah, this would be... If the guy just pulled back there a bit and threw the anchor, we'd probably be good.
All right, that hit that max gap jig.
Now, did you want to keep a couple of these?
Yeah, I think we will, because we're having a barbecue tonight, and there's nothing like a little surf and turf.
Well, surf or turf would be great. And then this is just a real good eating fish.
Oh, what you got on out there?
There we go.
There we go. Oh, the fight. We have a fish on. Audie, could be using your shoelace. A little feed of walleye happening there. There we go. Little fella.
Little guy.
He can go back.
Easy, just barely get the hook in there and they're on.
All right.
They're hungry little buggers.
Oh, yeah. You brought me to the honey hole there, Mayor.
Oh, this is just one of many of them. They're performing well today.
Well, you know, yesterday you were telling me how many lakes are within, you know, maybe a 30, 40 mile radius of Lynn Lake?
Oh, there's got to be 100 lakes that you could catch fish on like this within that range of the town.
100 lakes. So it's really unlimited. I mean, if a person wanted to come up here and fish, you know, they could fish and never run out of water, huh?
Yeah, you could pretty well fish a different lake every day all summer and do all right.
Okay.
Spoils you for going other places, that's for sure.
Now I got to get a jig on. He caught one there before I could even get my jig ready to tie on here. Folks, stay tuned. We'll be right back fishing up here with the mayor of Lynn Lake.
Well, I'll hang up my rod for a minute and give you a chance here as well.
No, you don't have to do that.
This tip of the week is sponsored by Coleman.
All right. Mr. Walleye. I'm with Mr. Walleye, Ted Takasaki. And Ted, you know, when it comes to catching walleyes, and here it is, spring of the year. Get that walleye out of my face, would you? Spring of the year, we got an incoming river, you know, and the fish are done spawning. And basically, we've got fish in the shallows all the way out to like 20 plus feet of water here. There's a fish. When it comes to jigging walleyes, let's talk a little bit about weight of jigs. You guys make the max gap jig. Excellent jig. You can put that one back.
In fact, yeah, the real key here is to maintain bottom contact. That's why we make several different sizes of jigs, 3/8, quarter, 1/8. When we were up a little bit shallower, you needed to use a little lighter jig. Now we're right on the edge of the current. You can see the current seam, slack water, fast water. We're right on the edge of that, and these 3/8 are working a lot better.
Well, ideally, in a situation like this, you should have 8, quarter, and 3/8 because you could use them at all different depths here. When I tried a 1/4 ounce in really shallow, I was snagging up a lot, losing jigs. So I went to an 1/8 ounce and I started catching a lot of fish. But you guys like it when people lose jigs, don't you, as a tackle manufacturer?
I think it's important to catch fish. That's the most important.
All right. Remain on the bottom. Good bottom contact, right weighted jig, you'll catch a lot more fish. You know, it's funny, for years and years, like this is, I think, my 23rd year on the TV show, and I used to, you know, in the early years, promote catch and release, and even right till this day, but there's nothing wrong with keeping a fresh catch of fish to eat. Lynn Lake, Manitoba is a town rich in history and is even home to Canada's very own Tom Cochrane. The town is known throughout the mining community as the town that moved. It was formed in 1960 when Sherritt Gordon Mines laid claim to one of the world's largest nickel strikes. Sherritt was located 265 kilometers south of a strike in a dying town called Sheridan. The town's planners soon realized that it would be less expensive to physically move the town's buildings to the new location rather than rebuild. So over 3 winter seasons, 50,000 tons of materials and 146 buildings successfully made the very dangerous 75-hour haul to Lynn Lake using the now famous Lynn tractors. And that's how Lynn Lake got the nickname, the town that moved. So you got a typical spring spot here. You know, you got the river dumping in and lots of current. I guess they'd spawn up in some of these areas, wouldn't they?
Yeah, they go right through the rapids there and they pick the sides where it's not quite as fast. Oh, here we go.
All right.
They're on.
Good stuff. Another decent walleye?
Another walleye.
Oh yeah, good one. Nice.
They're really good eating walleyes.
Oh, I bet. Good, clean water. Drink the water out of the lake up here. I'm hung out. Oh, I broke out.
Did you throw that one on too?
Absolutely. Well, you can see the local conservation officers out checking the boys. That's good to see, even though we're very remote. I think that one will go very good in a fry pan. You know, it's funny, for years and years, like this is, I think, my 23rd year on the TV show, and I used to, you know, in the early years, promote catch and release, and even right till this day, but there's nothing wrong with keeping a fresh catch of fish to eat, especially in fisheries like up here in Manitoba that can sustain the harvest, right? I mean, these got a lot of fish, these places, don't they?
Taking a meal home isn't gonna
No, and the
hurt
fact
it.
is that there's not much fishing pressure up here, is there? Not with 800 local residents and then some tourists, right?
Well, not at all. You can see, coming to a lake like this, we're the only group on the lake.
Yeah, nobody was there. I haven't seen anybody on any of the lakes I've been to the last 3 days, except us.
Yeah.
All right. Right on that current seam, eh?
Yeah, they just like to, I think it's a good feed source right there on the edge of that faster water.
Nice one. Hey, they just keep growing up in size, don't they?
Oh, by the end of the day, we'll have some real monsters.
Look at that. All right. Nice walleye. Well, I don't know. We'll keep one or two more, but I think we're going to have enough here. Oh, that's nice. I think it's a pike. It's doing a lot of circles. No, walleye. Oh, nice
Oh,
one.
nice one.
Yeah, nice one. All right. All right. That is a good one there. Yes, sir. Nothing wrong with that. That's what, just a sample of some of the great fishing opportunities up here at Lynn Lake, Manitoba. You know, it's a drive-to location. You can fly up here, you know, through Thompson, or drive, I guess, from Winnipeg. What would it be, about an 8-10 hour drive?
About a 10-hour drive from Winnipeg.
If you want, you could even drive up here, bring a boat, fish all the lakes, or go to one of the many outfitters in the area. I'm telling you, it's like unspoiled wilderness. We sure had a great trip to Lynn Lake, and we've just shown you the first 2 days of the trip, but we have lots more to show you in a future episode of Real Fishing, including flying lake to lake, searching for master angler pike and more tasty walleyes. From beautiful sunny weather to driving rain, we braved it all as we took part in a Lynn Lake adventure. Thanks to Audie and everyone involved with putting this trip together. We'll see you next week right here for some more Real Fishing. Oh, wow. I'm full right now. I'm coming with my That is a fish of a lifetime. Whoa. Well, that is just amazing. Look at that thing. Oh, yeah. Wow. That was too cool. Oh.